Party people in the place to be. What's going on? Got my Weedology shirt on. Got my little nug going here. And nug necklace, nugless. And I really just wanted to celebrate the season and maybe get back to creating some content for a few different reasons. I decided to celebrate the season by smoking 2 joints in the morning, smoking 2 joints at night, smoking 2 joints in the afternoon. It made me feel all right. Then I smoked 2 joints. What? I said I smoked 2 joints. What? In time of peace. What? I smoked 2 in times of war. War? Not the card game. Not war games. But times of war. I smoked 2 joints. I smoked 2 joints. And then I smoked 2 more. It's the season. April 20th. 20th of April. 2 days after tax day, which they moved, was the 15th. Now the 18th. And I smoked the IRS just like Razor Ramon did. What? And then I smoked 2 more. Just as the buzz took hold and these motherfuckers are rolling in the middle of the goddamn street, or in the middle of the goddamn bike lane. I didn't know this movie existed until the other day when I was just, had the YouTubes popped in and it randomly came up with a movie review. I think it was Jeremy John's movie review on this movie that I really had never even heard of. And he had a hard time explaining the movie. And so I was like, okay, whatever, that sounds fun. But he did kind of break down the movie a little bit. Like, he broke it down enough for me to want to go see this movie, which is maybe a first for Jeremy John's movie reviews, of all people. Like, I think back to like the Neo movie review days where we got it all here online on YouTube and stuff like that. And I'm finding it hard to even remember a movie review where like I didn't already have an inkling to go watch it or really want to go see it or something like that. But like their review made me put it on my radar, made me want to go watch it. That wasn't like a comedy review where they were like talking shit about it the whole time. This would be a first. So, yeah, so I went to go see this movie. Well, I had a couple of movies in mind. I went to go see this movie. I was like, oh, that might be a good 420 movie, because the way he broke it down was like kung fu and sci-fi and all this other wacky shit. And I'm like, oh, that should be good to trip out on. And it was, but it wasn't, because I didn't trip out on it. I was actually invested in the movie that I was watching. It was weird. And I can understand why he didn't give too many spoilers. I don't think I think it was Jeremy Johns. He didn't give spoilers. He didn't give too many spoilers. He did. Actually, yeah, he broke down the whole thing. It was Jeremy Johns. I remember he labeled it as awesome-tacular. He broke it down in this way that made me want to go see this movie, and I understand it now. And which is a theme of this movie. It's understanding so many, it's a multiverse movie, it's a kung fu movie, it's a parody movie, it's got allegories all over the place, it's an allegorical movie, it's a family drama, it's a family comedy, it's slapstick, it's a superhero movie, complete with the cliffhanger, it's an art movie, it's a cartoon at times. It's a student film. It's a thesis. It's a fucking anime. It's a Power Rangers movie. It's a fucking cooking show. It's a dancing show. It's Kim's Convenience. It's literally everything everywhere all at once. It is literally everything everywhere all at once. Like, I don't think I have ever, and The Rock means ever, seen a movie that more vividly and accurately lives up to the title. This is including movies with the main character's name as the title. This is including Coach Carter. He was really a coach, and his name was really Carter. But god damn it, it still doesn't encapsulate the movie the same way this does. Fucking Spider-Man. He's a man with the abilities of a spider. Still doesn't accurately enough tell you what's going on. Fucking open water. They were literally only in open water most of the time, and it still doesn't accurately determine big-titted bitches from Hollywood who love to suck each other's clits, volume 27. Trust me, it's in the collection. It's better than 26, not as good as 29. Still didn't accurately describe the title of the film the way Everything, Everywhere, All at Once described this film. This is a film. This is a movie and a film at the same time. And you don't know how long it is. You realize that it is long. You realize it's a little long in the tooth. But it's not long in the tooth in that you're like, oh my god, I wish this movie would be over. You just notice, oh, we've been here a while. Like, there are some falsies. And if we put this in the term of a wrestling match, the part where people kick out. Those are called falsies. There's some false finishes. There's some false finishes in this movie that there are enough of them to make you realize time has gone. But you also don't care that the time is gone. But then you suddenly do care about the time being gone, because then that becomes something that was touched on in the movie, and this movie somehow touched on things that we're experiencing now. It somehow, before it was able to, touched on like the Chris Rock, Will Smith, and our place in the world, and masculinity and femininity and gender and all these different things, while not being ham-fisted, but at the same time sometimes being ham-fisted, but not also like being right on the money. It was literally everywhere, all at the same time, about family, about decisions, about everything. It was everything. It was everything, everywhere, all at once. And it was hilarious and tragic and fucking weird and normal and surreal, okay? And sexy and ugly. It was everything, everywhere. Ali was 3 hours of Ali, and it's not as descriptive. I can't describe. This is going to be the very first legitimate non-spoiler movie. I cannot tell you about this movie. You have to. You literally have to see this to understand this. But it confuses, but it doesn't. It teaches, but it doesn't. And it is, but it isn't. But it was, but it wasn't. Beaches is not inaccurate enough to say where they were barely at a beach. Transformers is not an accurate enough time. The cars literally transformed. I can't tell. Here's what I can tell you about the movie. The performances were incredible. Like, top to bottom, the performances were incredible. Because everyone gives so many different performances. Everyone literally is forced to act their ass off because it's because I can tell you this is a multiverse movie. Because it's a multiverse movie, everyone acts their ass off in multiple different multiverses. The performances were fantastic. The lead woman, she was amazing. She's amazing. She's good. She's really good. She's really good. This is how you introduce somebody to a mainstream audience that, may not have seen them in, I'm pretty sure she was in Crazy Rich Asians, because they showed a picture of her walking the red. Anyway, so I never saw that movie, but she's great. She's great. And if I know that she's in something, I'm probably gonna stop and watch it now. Stephanie Hsu, I think, is the name of the girl who plays her daughter Joy. I first saw her in Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, which I gotta tell you, I hated the start of this last season, but it's and I didn't like the ending. Like the bookends Actually, no, it's really the ending. Anyway, with Mrs. Maisel, the whole thing with fucking what's his name, Lenny Bruce. I hate that part. Everything else is great. I hate the Lenny Bruce shit. Anyway, she's in Mrs. Maisel, and she's great. I first saw her there, and I'm like, she's great. She's really good. And I saw her in this, and I'm like, oh, she's really good. She's really, really good. She's like, she's what Aquafina thinks she wants. She's what Aquafina should be. She's what Aquafina is in Aquafina's mind. And she seemingly, at least to me, came out of nowhere. I've never seen her in anything else. I saw her in Mrs. Maisel. I saw her in this. I think I saw her in something else. I think I saw her like pop up in something else in like a super small role. But I can't even remember what that may have been. But I'm pretty sure it was like a TV show or something. She had like a bit part in. And it may have been from like a couple years ago. And then I'm just now recognizing her. Like I saw her in like a rerun or something that I have playing in the background. But she's incredibly good in this movie. And everybody is. Those are the two standouts. But the husband in this movie breaks late. He breaks really. I appreciated him really late in this. His performance, his character, can be a commentary on stuff we're seeing today in men, masculinity, marriage, everything, culture. It's everything. It's nothing. It's everywhere all at once. Because I can't tell you any of the plot. I refuse to tell you. I'm not spoiling this. First off, it's entirely too much to go into, but also not enough to go in. But it's not enough for me to tell you because you have to see it to believe it and understand where any of this is coming from. Your face will be contorted into all different directions while watching this. Mine went from I was Jim Carrey in that movie theater for however long this movie was, because I don't even know how long the movie was. 15 out of $15. I can't tell you it. It's a perfect movie, but it's I can't tell. It's 15 out of $15. I can't even. There's no way to not justify. You have to watch this movie. It's literally. It is quite literally everything, everywhere, all at once. Like, share, subscribe. I'm gonna be dropping more shit in the coming time period. Probably more live stuff just because it takes less editing and stuff, and I got bills to pay, mouths to feed, mine. So, cheers.
I'm a nice guy, I'm a nice place, with a nice smile on my nice face. Turn your back and I'm making sure my night's straight. And when you're out of town, I'll be making sure your wife's straight.